Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tiffany Benson, and today we're going to be learning about intermittent fasting. Yes, it's May, June is right around the corner, summer is almost here. It's time for us to get right and tight, okay? So we're going to be learning about how intermittent fasting works, a little bit of its history, how you can implement it into your own life, into your own schedule. And I'm also going to be sharing my personal fasting and eating plan. So stay tuned for that. Okay. So, as I mentioned, I'm Chef Tiffany. I am a wellness coach, a holistic chef. Okay. I'm a keynote speaker. And today we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting. I have my notes down here. You're going to see me looking down. And so that's what I'm looking at. Okay. So let's get right into it. Okay. So, what I really love about intermittent fasting is that really it's about getting in tune with your circadian rhythm. And so, ladies, this is like natural stuff. You know what I mean? Like this is about you getting in tune with the natural cycles of the earth. Okay? I'm sorry to woo-woo you, but there's a little bit of woo-woo here with intermittent fasting. And if you could get into that, you know what I mean, and understand that this is deeper than just I want to get right and I want to get skinny and I want to lose a lot of weight. Okay? This is about you getting in tune with the earth and with your circadian rhythm. So, intermittent fasting correlates with your natural circadian rhythm and it's been proposed repeatedly. I didn't say this, okay? Somebody else said this that it has benefits for weight management, which is why we're all here, right? Okay, I know. Cardiovascular health, and it helps you reduce your oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress, you ask? I'm so glad that you asked, actually. Oxidative stress, in short, means it helps you look younger and live longer. Oxidation is aging. Okay, that's what that means. When you put a little banana on the counter, an avocado, an apple, that brown, that old, that's oxidizing. Okay, you're aging. That's what that means. Antioxidants help you stay young. All right, that's neither here nor there. So, next, fasting is known to be one of the most ancient traditions in the world. All right, here I come with more woo woo. I'm sorry. I did a little woo woo, then some science. Now I'm coming back with a woo woo, and that is that this is this is like biblical, ancient, like since the beginning of time. Okay, people have been fasting. All spiritual followings, teachings, religion, they be fasting, girl. They be fasting. So just know that when you do this, that you are aligned with the ancestors. Because the ancestors was fasting. Hello. Okay. So so it has been practiced among various communities for either cultural or religious reasons. Interestingly, it has also been used in a healing method for diseases as well for centuries. So the intermittent fasting that we be doing today, as we've lost, some of the history and the understanding of this practice, but we do it now in a voluntary way that has a fixed duration. Some people, when they're fasting, they may still consume caloric drinks or beverages, but maybe they just fast from like eating solid foods. So what's awesome is that because of its popularity, in recent years, there's been a lot of studies on intermittent fasting. And it shows that there is significant importance in time restricted eating towards maintaining a healthy metabolism. So that's our introduction. And I just want to say that This is huge, okay? Obviously, I'm going to try and keep this in, 15 to 20 minutes, but those 4 points as far as getting together with your circadian rhythm, number 1. Number 2, it's about honoring the ancient traditions and religions of this world and understanding that this is an ancient practice, okay? Number 3, it is about restriction of your calories and intake. And number 4, it is about helping you maintain and potentially promote a healthy metabolism. We're back. We've gone through our introduction as far as what this presentation is going to be about, and now it's going to get real. So go ahead, grab your pen, grab your paper, because I'm about to tell some truths. Truths. So, truths. So, the first truth we're going to be talking about is circadian rhythm. And did you hear that? Circadian rhythm. Now, I'm about to shade somebody right now. No, I'm just kidding. I won't shade anybody, but listen to me when I tell you. If you're a lady out there and you're trying to lose weight, you're struggling with your metabolism, it's like everything you do, you already been intermittent fasting. You're here because you think you're going to learn something different that you don't already know about intermittent fasting. Let me tell you something. If you are not aligned with your circadian rhythm, intermittent fasting is not going to work. Like, I'm here to be your wellness coach today and let you know that, okay? That's why it's number 1 listed under this intermittent fasting. And for those of you that this is the first time that you're hearing this, I'm not here to be rough with you, but I I need you guys to understand something. You can't leave pieces out of the pie, okay? When you look at a subject, you have to look at it's the entire body. Because if you leave things out, it's not going to work, okay? Intermittent fasting is a system. It's not just about I'm not eating from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Okay. It's about aligning yourself with your circadian rhythm. You have to. What am I saying? What is circadian rhythm? Circadian rhythm is your biological clock. It's a 24-hour clock that you have, that all of us have, that our creator gave to us to manage because we have free will, okay? And so, this clock is earthbound. That means that this clock has to abide by the elements and forces that exist here on this planet, okay? Sorry for the woo woo. But I'm not apologizing anymore in this one, okay? So, listen, if you do not have good sleep hygiene, if you need help with sleep hygiene, which is how you prepare yourself for bed, the time in which you go to bed, how many hours of sleep that you're getting each night, if you have poor sleep hygiene, forget it. I love you. And I'm here to tell you truths on this topic. Forget it. Like, don't do it, okay? Because if you can't align yourself with the sun and the moon, this is not going to work. It's not going to work, especially if you're a woman, okay? So, you need to take the time to figure out how are you going to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. And obviously, there's going to be outliers, right? Things are going to come up, things are going to happen. The kids, vacation, you have to go out of town, whatever, late bus, late flight, life, right? But your priority is to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night, okay? And ideally, You're sleeping when the moon is visible in the sky, and you are awake when the sun is visible in the sky. This is how we align with our circadian rhythm. If you are operating in a space where you are outside of that alignment, your body system will not work properly. It's just that's just how you were made. That's just what's going on here, you know? I know some of us are late night workers, ER doctors, overnighters, and I really, really honor and appreciate your service and what you do for us. But understand that you are operating outside of the normal system that was here for you. So those of us that are doing that, you're going to find it hard to regulate your metabolism. You're going to find it hard to lose weight. You're going to find it hard to find the energy to work out. You're going to find it hard to eat healthy every day. You're going to find it hard to honor yourself because you don't have it, right? So it's tough, you know? It's really, really tough. I'm here to like let you know. I want to coach you through this. I want to get you through this, but just understand it's not going to work. Okay. So if you're here to lose weight, if you're one of those people that was here for that reason and you can't commit to sleep hygiene, girl, that's where you got to start. You got to start on the sleep hygiene. Okay. You got to get in tune with your circadian rhythm. So let's talk about what those hours look like and what does it mean to be in line with this sun and this moon and this circadian rhythm, right? So when the sun is highest in the sky, usually around 12 p.m., right? That is when you, as a person, should be doing high energy activities. You should be up, awake, moving around, usually working or at school or doing activities when the sun is out, when there's a light, right? That's energy time, high movement time, right? But before the sun is highest in the sky, and once the sun has gone now into its resting phase and the moon comes out, we're in a different we're in a different time. This is moon time. Okay, ladies? And so during this time, we are supposed to be resting, relaxing, right? So from around 8 p.m. all the way till probably around 10 a.m., between 10 and 11 a.m. the next day, that's feminine time. And ideally, we are honoring our feminine time with rest and relaxation and prayer and meditation and yoga, right? And if you want to take this even a step further, the types of foods that you're eating during that time, if you're even eating at all during feminine time, are all aligned to that body system and what we're trying to do in aligning ourselves with the natural systems of the earth. Okay? So let's talk about the science. Because I know y'all done with the woo woo with me. So, time restricted eating results in decreased energy intake, decreased body weight, decreased body fat, decreased blood pressure, decreased blood glucose levels, decreased glucose tolerance, and decreased inflammatory markers. Those are all huge.
2,000 years later.
We're here. We're back. Everything died. We're here. So, where were we? Here I have my notes on my iPad, and we're going to continue in letting you know that metabolic switching, which is the powerful component of fasting, happens once the liver glycogen stores are depleted and the fatty acids begin to get metabolized. Now, this is the powerful part right here, the metabolic switching. And this usually occurs beyond the 12-hour mark of fasting, right? So after fasting for about 12 plus hours is when this metabolic switching occurs. And this metabolic switch from utilizing glucose to fatty acids derived ketones. Now remember that word, ketones, represents an evolutionary trigger, shifting metabolism from lipid cholesterol synthesis and fat storage, okay, to the mobilization of fat through fatty acid oxidation and fatty acid derived ketones, preserving both muscle and function. Okay, so basically, not only are you burning fat, but you're burning it in a way that is preserving this part, okay? And that is powerful because with other weight loss, methods like calorie restriction, often it's like you're losing your everything. You know what I'm saying? You're not just losing fat, you're losing muscle, you're losing water, right? But with this type of fasting, the science is pointing to that. We can preserve muscle mass. So I'm done. I swear I'm done with that. So I just kind of hinted, right? There's a few ways that you can lose weight. You can calorie restrict, right? Which means the reduction of total caloric intake. That does not result in malnutrition, right? So you're not going to hurt yourself, but you're going to, let's say, intake 200, 300, 400 less calories per day than what you usually do in order to lose weight. Okay? Now, this is typical diet behavior, right? Things like Weight Watchers, things like even keto, which you heard me say the word ketones when I was describing what happens when we get into the metabolic switching, right? But basically, you're putting your body in ketosis when you're fasting after the 12-hour marker, okay? So that leads us right into intermittent fasting. The main thing that we talked about today was eating patterns that target a dedicated period of time, 12 plus hours, with consumption of little to no calories. We've talked about time restricted feeding today. In some of my previous videos in Wellness Wednesday, when I talk about similar topics, I go into deeper on other types of fasting. But in this video, we're just talking about time restricted feeding, okay? We also, in the introduction, talked about or touched on religious fasting. Some of the popular or most prevalent religious fasts are Ramadan, right? Lent, and even things like the Daniel fast, which again is something that I've done, not here on YouTube, but I think more of that was on, or maybe some of it, I don't remember. But we have done Daniel fast here at the beginning of the year, to kind of cleanse the body and get it ready or detoxing from the holidays, okay? So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. Definitely something we could do. So what you've all been waiting for is my weight loss plan, okay? What do I be doing? So I have it right here. And by the way, all the information from this presentation is something that you receive when we start coaching, okay? All this information, all this education, it's all yours based on your needs, your wants. Even if you're not accepted into the program after you submit your application, you still get all this information, okay? So my time restricted feeding plan, and this is what I recommend to my students, is 16 to 18 hours fasting every day. That may sound like a lot, but you work into that. If fasting is something you've never done, then no, you're not going to fast for 16 to 18 hours, right? But that's just what I do. So, how I got started on this is phase 1. Okay? I worked myself into this too, right? So, phase 1 for me would be having breakfast at 10 a.m., then having a large lunch at 2 p.m., a late dinner at 6 p.m., and that includes 2 snacks in that eating time. Okay? So write that down. Breakfast at 10, large lunch at 2, light dinner at 6, and 2 snacks within that window from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. All of your eating has to be done between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Okay? And you need to be winding down, making sure that you're getting sleep, which is something I really honed into. There's a bird outside my window. There are birds outside my window. Something I really honed in today about the sleeping, but it's really important that you're sleeping. So phase 2. Now, this is like more of my current eating schedule, okay? Now, give me grace, because I give myself grace, because I'm at a point now where I'm pretty content with, my body, with my health in that sense. And so I give myself grace. If I want a snack after 6, honey, I'm having a snack after 6. But I've earned that, and one day you'll get there too. You'll earn the right to do that. But usually I'm eating from 12 to 6 p.m. Okay? Now, 12 to 8 is nice too. Like, that's a more comfortable space, especially if you're working, especially if you're doing a lot of stuff. But if you're in a detox phase or a cleansing phase, or if I'm trying to tighten it up, 12 to 6, 6-hour eating window, that's it, okay? 12 p.m. breakfast, 2 p.m. large lunch, light dinner, 6 p.m., 1 snack in there somewhere. That's it. Okay? So, thank you so much for tuning in with me today for this presentation on intermittent fasting, on aligning with our circadian rhythm, and really just getting in tune with our body so that our metabolism can do what we want it to do. Okay? So, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next Wellness Wednesday. Bye.